If you are a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess Santa would flee the sea. Hey, wait a second. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. Santa is a good Santa. Santa does not deserve coal in the stocking.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would... So we basically just called Santa someone who would kill someone. Dang. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the... Yes, exactly what I was saying earlier. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Yeah. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness had a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Sephiroth, is the next witness ready to go?
We have another one? Unfortunately. We have another witness? Okay. I appear to have... This is a very long trial. Well, then again, trials in real life are actually really, ridiculously long. I appear to have underestimated this witness. Overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I know, right? We were one shot away from exploding. And in fact, we did explode for 4 times, as far as you know.
I'm afraid that the Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Okay. Hold it. It's not over until the rubber bands sing. The rubber band lady. Fat lady. The rubber bands. I don't know where I'm going with it. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid reels? Right? I don't need rubber bands, thank you. You're welcome. That wasn't a thank you. That was a stay the hell away from me, thank you. That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that? Tell Santa.
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star.
Ugh. This your jumbo lunchbox? There's a noise maker inside. It makes sparkly noises.
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of reference to the...
I call foul. This judge is clearly have been bribed.
Out of deference to the witness's determination, Santa will allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Give me the lunchboxes first, though. You gonna get... No. Why not?
Because I don't have a lunch giving animation.
This is true.
Like the Lunchland motto says,
you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? She keeps her evidence in her lunchbox. Yes, they're safe that way, but also soggy for some reason. I wouldn't eat those lunches if I were you. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? No, you did not. The shoe, it has jelly donut sauce on it. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was blood, the other was jelly donuts.
Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
One, of course, was the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Where was the shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. They're a little soggy though. Don't eat them. Don't eat the evidence. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why can't you eat evidence? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? That you should probably not eat. Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. I mean, like, but why did you hire a prosecutor then? Yeah, I'm waiting. Would you like another lunchbox? Yes, Santa would like lunchbox. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention I have 3 boyfriends in forensics? I mean, but if you don't actually present it to the prosecutor, I'm pretty sure it's doesn't count as evidence because like you're not a prosecutor, so you could just be like pulling this out of your ass or lunchboxes in this case. I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I mean, like, yeah, she's a former detective person, so she would have known this. Maybe she's lying about being a former detective. Huh? Maybe she has like a twin sister that was actually the detective, and then now she's masquerading as her because her twin sister is dead. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe's already been tested by a member of the forensics department. Yeah, but until you actually get the okay from the forensics department and like get the forensics department to actually confirm that they have, it's not evidence yet. As you can see, this is approved by the police department as of today. I mean, that document could be, like, this envelope could be anything. Because we don't act, you couldn't just be like, oh yes, I got them to sign a thing. You don't need to look at the actual signature. I did it.
Here, look at the monkey. Look at the silly monkey.
Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. No. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really. I mean, aren't you, like, planning to go into forensics? Like, shouldn't you be looking into this yourself? Like, shouldn't you be, know this? The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. What's the second? However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim's shoe, white enamel. Shoe? What does enamel mean? Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Even though I don't know what law number 2 is. Just continue.
We don't talk about number 2. No, number 2 is bad. Don't talk about number 2 in public. Don't. Is that a poop joke? Yes, this is a poop joke.
Alright, carry on.
Alright, here we go again. Should have mentioned that those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Then why did I guess with compressor on this? Hold it! You probably should have saved first. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes?
I guess you could say
I just wanted people to look at the results. Then, results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing.
Then why didn't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most trustworthy, the vile lot known as prosecutors.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Yes, that's right, I'm a light bowgun main. I used the Nargacuga one. So what of it? This is when the suspect is admitting she did it?
Santa prefers heavy bowgun. Santa prefers gun that go burr.
Santa likes gun that goes burr. It goes burr.
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Star. Let's just get this over with. Santa wants to go back to hunting monsters.
And now to the manager of the victim's shoe. No, you did not. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. The shoe was my secret weapon. If that should happen. Yes, I've been carrying this shoe with me all along. I put it in my lunchbox. Did I mention that you probably shouldn't eat the lunch?
What? I've ate like 5 of them already.
I should have been listening. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunch boxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you, for your lunchbox bag, really. But you put a shoe and your lunches in the same bag.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next.
One, of course, was the victim's. Hold it. So, you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. Actually, have we been even doing that? Because we haven't actually needed to do that so far. To that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. But why are there two different bloodstains on it? And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were two types of blood found in the shoe. Yeah, why was the other one on the shoe? Another blood type matched the defendant's. Hold it! You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood... actually, you can. You claim to know something about blood tests? Rookie? Huh? Punk? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Yes, it was actually hot blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means we can more or less narrow down any sample of blood down to just one person. Okay, shut up, nerd. Or so I hear. So you hear? That's pretty specific. Nerd! If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lotta Skies.
So the victim's blood...
Is there like a difference between blood tests and DNA tests?
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. The shoe proves it. It's flawless. Decisive evidence. Hold it. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. What the heck is this? You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Seems some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your clients. Use enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Unlike the cold blood, which was cold, while the soup is hot. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victims? I have no idea. Actually, no, there is a problem. Why is her shoe? Why is her blood on the shoe? There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. The gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? I actually kind of want to see what it tastes like.
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? So what's the problem with the evidence?
We actually did not inspect the shoe. Oh no, I forgot that mechanic existed in this game. Alright, so the victim got stabbed and then got blood splattered all over his shoe. So why is there blood underneath it?
Take that!
Because I wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Because exactly like the victim got stabbed, so the blood would have splattered on top of the shoe. Unless if like it formed a giant puddle on the ground, which I don't think happened because it was a single stab wound. Or maybe he like bled out or something, and then maybe that would have been a thing. But either way, If it was like a giant splatter, it would have landed on top of his shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be blood on the bottom of my shoe. Your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Exactly. That's the problem. It's like, did like he kick her or something? And then that's why there's like her blood on the bottom of the shoe? Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of the Oh dear God, we're about to die. Didn't I? Okay, now it's time to check this. This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in the jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. If what, the knife? Ah, there's blood here too. On the sole of the shoe, it's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Oh dear. Are we able to save? Contradiction about blood on the bottom. There's no blood on the floor! If you look at this, there's no blood on the floor. It's completely clean. Yeah, it's completely clean. Maybe like, unless he was standing on top of this jacket, and that's why there's no blood on the floor. But why would he be randomly standing on top of a jacket? Unless maybe he wanted like to die or something, and maybe he was the one who set up the death, and it was actually a suicide. Take that! The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Yes, I'm actually very smart. It didn't take me 40 minutes of video that I cut out of the video this time, unlike last time. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't that strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Oh ho! As you can see, there are no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. This contradicts your claim about the shoe. Objection! This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because, actually, yeah, when we went there too, there were no bloody footprints at all. We checked the scene, and found nothing of the sort. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm smart, sometimes. Okay, only a little bit at a time, but occasionally. Order! Order! Can Santa have some of those rubber band lunch boxes, please? I told you, you probably shouldn't eat them, but Santa doesn't care. Santa's really hungry. Have you seen this really large belly? Santa has to keep up his image somehow. What? Oh. Great going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. It probably has to do with the jacket. Think, Mr. Wright. Think. Hey, I don't know why it's not. Again, it's probably because of the jacket. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Nani? I see. Now I get it. I pointed my head. That makes me very smart. Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. That's why she exists. Doesn't exist. Does she exist? Life is a mystery. Do any of us actually exist? What is existence? She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, that one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Rawr! Indeed. I thought it was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to wait a second. So, actually, no, never mind. I lost. That means I was about to say that maybe that's why there's blood on the bottom of the shoe because she like kicked her, but it's not actually her shoe. Actually, is it her shoe? I don't actually know. This could be either a dude, like a guy, or a lady's shoe. Actually, maybe that's part of the that's the trick. Maybe this isn't actually Lana's shoe. It's the lunch lady's shoe, or no? Maybe it's not actually Goodman's shoe. It might be Lana's shoe. Or it could be the lunch lady's shoe. Because it doesn't actually say who the shoe belongs to, it just says that there's blood on it. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? Yeah, it's actually very hard to kick an oil drum over when it's filled. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently, you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox. But actually, I feel like I've like touched upon the oil drum before. I just don't remember things. Witness? Well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. Dang, that's some chunky leg. Someone never skips leg day. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you not want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Was it to like wash everything? But like, how did she knock it over? Because like an oil drum filled with water is actually really, really heavy. You don't mean? Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason, and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Warg. That ties things up quite nicely. Then, okay, then like, maybe that shoe still has blood on it, so which probably means that that shoe is like planted evidence or something along those lines. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie quite clearly to this murder. I have a different accent now. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's the prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? I mean, we still don't know why she's saying that she did it. Even though there's like weird stuff going on. So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Maybe like she didn't actually do it, but she's feeling guilty or something. Or there's a ulterior reason for like the real person. Maybe she herself doesn't want the actual person to get caught. that could be a thing. So now she's like faking her guiltiness. So that's when my sister's blood got on that shoe.
Well, Santa sees no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? I don't know. Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. What? Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well, Santa says, as the player goes and saves the game.
But Angel's star is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water.
Court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Hold it. Who actually said that?
Little girl, what did you just say?
Me?
Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side?
Yeah, you are. I mean, yeah, you actually are. You're saying that my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Well...
The bloody footprints? The bloody footprints.
I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. Lunchbox called? Evidence. Santa would like to know what evidence tastes like. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of the court.
Your threats don't scare the queen.
I mean, like, yeah, okay, just giving the defense an opportunity to refute more. Yeah, that's very smart. As smart as putting lunchboxes and shoes in the same bag.
A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest. The white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I mean, okay, we never actually said that the shoe belonged to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Hey, Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Yeah, it is wet. Hey, it's clearly wet. I know that because my assistant said so. And there, I wouldn't have picked it up beforehand because the text box is in the way. Actually, isn't there an option to... Yeah, if we do this, then we can't even see the asphalt. Good job, game! Let's put it back to here because I don't like how solid the text box is.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. I mean, no, that actually is weird because wouldn't she have erased the blood on the shoe? It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning, but you still took it. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Dun dun dun! I'm sorry, Mia. Spoopy. It's I did not know this game was a horror game. Right, what or not. Don't be so quick to throw in a towel. Oh my gosh, Phoenix Wright is actually psychic. He's able to see ghosts. So basically, he took away the entire reason why his purple assistant is in this game. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Awesome, a ghost. Boo. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. Not until the bitter end. Give us a sign. Give us a... Yeah, I don't know if people still play Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia. I'm going to continue now. This is the last piece of evidence. I say as I save the game. So it could be the fourth to last piece of evidence, for all you guys know. Very well. This time, I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Objection! Did you not see the ghost that was there? Huh? Your Honor, wait. What is with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? No. Whatever it is, can it wait? Santa is very hungry. Santa wants to eat his rubber band lunch. No, I can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph.
Look at the silly monkey.
The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. That's a very good plan we have there. Thinking later. That's always a good idea. Yeah, that's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every climb a fair shake. Very well.
Wait, didn't Edgeworth say that we have another witness? Like earlier, Edgeworth said like the judge was like,
Is the next witness ready?
and he was like, yes, Your Honor. The next witness is ready. So do we have like more witnesses after this? Because we still haven't used the blue monkey thing as our evidence, and we still don't know what Goodman's note means.
Show the court the problem with this photograph.
Is it this thing? Oh, great. What is this? What is this in the exhaust pipe? Huh. So, there's actually two potential problems I see. One of them is with the shoe, since it's so close to the water. Why didn't the shoe get washed off of its, like, blood? And why is his shoe off in the first place? And the second is, what the heck is this thing in the exhaust pipe? I think the correct answer is the shoe, which is why I'm going to click on the exhaust pipe.
Take that!
The problem is in this photograph is here. Yep, it's probably wrong. Which, since he said something, I don't know, maybe not wrong. I don't know. There's something poking out of the car's muffler. I guess it was the correct thing.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler.
Wait a second. Wait a second. This is a little scarf muffler thing that the Lotta Sky, that's her name, right? Lana Sky was wearing. So that's probably where it went. Then why is it in the muffler? A muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see. Santa sees.
Do reindeer have exhaust Do reindeers have mufflers? I think it's the part where they poop out of. Oh, that makes sense.
What's the suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? It's the scarf. What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You've said as much in your testimony.
What? Well, let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Muffler. It could be the... Oh, I should have saved more often. Oh well. We don't have anything that says that's related to the scarf. Except for, like, the cell phone here. So it could be this.
Take that!
Take that! Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Yeah, this is probably right. Recall your testimony for the court. Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler! Yarg! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, it means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh! Whoa! I'm actually a ghost now. I'm pretending to be a ghost.
Whoa! It seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Sus!
Among Us?
Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we will do a disservice to the law. My accent is going all over the place again. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
This is a very long case. I suppose so. Phew, that was close. But we made it. At least for now.
The court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
How fast is it? Like, how quickly can you actually go to the parking lot from here? Like, cause does that mean we have like only 30 minutes to search the crime scene, including actually driving over there? Or we don't even have a car. How are we getting over there? By like taxi or train? Because are there trains in New York? Because the city or the country, the America that this game clearly takes place in, and not another one? Huh? Santa? He's still hungry? I mean, he is Santa.
Santa is very hungry. He is always hungry.